Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it looked like he was able to get it back. So a big sigh of relief there, as that would have been a disastrous way to start this ball game.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
And the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
And a short gain there, so get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
No, check, Patriot. No, check, Patriot.
Now Balaj. They find some open field here. And now running right through it. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carr now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Down! 185! Right down!
On first and 10, here's Carr. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense.
Monday, down! 280! What's up?
On second down, Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. Carr can beat you in a lot of ways. The scramble there, a perfect example as he gets the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Down! 180! Go, go. Get set, get set. Go, go.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Carr going to go on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Off the play fake. Warren. It's complete to Drake. And finally down it goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
To throw on 2nd down. Warren. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tim Williams in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Operating from the gun. Warren. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And it worked his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point safely through, and that will get them one closer. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now, 180. Go, go. Get set, get set. 694.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Flushed out right. Fights off the... And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Phillips. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Get set. 180. Later one.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. From midfield, here's Carr. Throwing right, and that's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Screenplay, Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
On first down, Carr. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Play action. Now it's Carr.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you were backed up into a 2nd and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hey, all right now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, Warren. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Warren. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them. And it's blocked. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure If something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, Warren. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Gun!
Operating from the gun, Warren. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tim Williams in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. From the gun, Warren. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Get down. Wide at 8. Raider 1.
On second down, here's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. Whoosh. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Drake. And an alley to run. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
On 3rd down, Warren. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's a run with Balaj. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
No. Check. Patriot.
Toss play to Balaj. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run here with Balaj. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a handoff. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. He's going to go up top again. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
Throwing to start the drive. Warren, a throw left side, complete to his receiver, Westbrook. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. C.J. Mosley in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4.
Detroit!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Warren. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Johnson's got it complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
6:37.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the red color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Gun!
Operating from the gun. Warren, he's going to air one out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Well, the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert them. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting. But I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Now a big play here as the Ravens are going to go for the 2-point conversion. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Gun!
From the gun, Warren. And he finds Stills, complete. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off play action. Warren going deep here for Parker. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Detroit! Detroit!
Operating from the gun. Warren. Open man is Westbrook, complete. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run it with Balaj. Spins by. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that'll push the lead up to 8. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And the Ravens taking the field. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Back to throw. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Carr signaling to his guys, let's go here. And they'll get the spike off with 6 seconds to go. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be caught. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity. Just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for the Dolphins, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to